Well, that's Jardin de Brindley pretty much, not quite, but pretty much done now. This, again, I genuinely still remember the very first time we walked through here, and to see it now to what it was literally 5 years ago, it is an unbelievable transformation. And I don't say that lightly, and I know I use the word amazing and fantastic a lot, but to see what this was, to from a big pile of weeds to not being able to see the levels, to seeing this now, and just to see all these beautiful plants that have got in them, the range of plants. And again, we couldn't have done this without Karen and Shane, because their knowledge and their understanding of the plants that they've brought into the garden is out of this world. And what we love, we've got some really rare plants here as well, some ones that you don't find everywhere in your normal garden centres. And that meant we've had to trek out to all over eastern France and western France and anywhere that we could to find an unusual garden centre. So it's just beautiful. So little things that we've got in, we have obviously a beautiful privet. Now it's not a normal privet, and I know it's just a privet, but big beautiful leaves, big beautiful budding flowers, and again it smells lovely. We have our beautiful little Turkish irises. Now how stunning are they? So delicate, but the colour on them, and again just the little detailing on them, just to the beautiful daisies, to just everything that's going to come to life. These plants are only really young and they're only really small right now, but we've already seen what a difference a year makes here. Now we've got some beautiful things on this side. It's nice seeing this planted, because again it was a blank canvas, and this wasn't as bad as the rest of the garden, to be fair. The terrace wasn't too bad. Getting the blocks in, getting everything sorted and getting it looking like this wasn't as bad as doing the rest of that. But to see it come alive with plants now, because again last year we just had to look at it kind of bare really, and we've had plastic down on it, so to see the plants going in, we have these beautiful Lespedeza, and these will basically, it's a beautiful bush and it's going to waterfall and cascade down here with big beautiful purple flowers, and we've matched that on the back as well, so we're going to see these throughout the garden. Ceanothus, absolutely beautiful. Now again, only a baby, so you look at this one here, so this has just gone in. But this one down here, that is all the way here, is only a couple of years old. So we know how good they're going to look and how they're going to turn out. So all the beautiful ilex that we've got in, starting to grow, and these will bush out in time as well. It will take a bit of time for them. We know it's going to be 2-3 years before we get the effect. But we've tried to plant as much as we can around, so that you've got just different areas that you can be in, and this would just be beautiful with some tables sat here. And again, when you look out onto that beautiful landscape, just to be able to sit here to listen to the birds and enjoy this beautiful garden, it's going to be amazing. And we've got our beautiful passion flower, which is one of my genuine favourite plants. I absolutely love them. I remember coming to France one of the very first times and said I would love to have that. But again, it's only a baby right now, and it'll take over this wall in time. We know how good that they look. To roses, now the trailing roses have done amazingly well. Like I said, these have just gone in. Going to take a little bit of watering in and to settle, but we look at this one, and that one's quite big compared to what we've had in. You look at this one and it's a good 8-10 foot across the wall already. That only went in last year as a little tiny twiglet, and it's done unbelievably well. But seeing these beds all full, again, more roses, and we managed to get some more cardoons. So the cardoon that we have down there, we have more up here as well, just to give this area, just to fill it out and to bulk it out, and just to give you again that different texture and that different feel of the different plants. And not everything's going to be the same height and level, and it is all going to spread. Again, looking at these little, I think these are a geranium type. We've done that down there, and last year they took over the whole beds, and what that meant for us, it was less maintenance, less weeding. It covers everything up, but we're still not done. Still a couple of plants that we didn't find while Shane was here, which is surprising, but we are getting there. It is only down to a list of like 1 or 2 plants now. It's not a whole bunch of plants, and we've tried to mirror this the best we can. And you can see our columns. So again, question for you guys, we have them set back against the wall, or we have them set forward with a little bit more space. So what do we do with that? Do we have them set forward, or do we have them back against the wall? I think we're erring towards set them forward, so that if we do put anything in, it can just cascade over right the way around and give a more grand effect. And just adding them there, you can see as you walk up, it gives a different feel. it just feels a little bit more elegant. It feels like you're entering a chateau, coming towards a chateau, and it's only just something silly like this that's gone in, but it's just made such a difference to the feel of this area in the garden. And like I say, all around here now is pretty much planted, and not just the normal plants that we've put in. We've got our beautiful lavenders, which again, these are going to come up and give a staggeringly blue colour. Again, not too tall, they're a dwarf, so they're only going to grow probably to about 2 feet, and we're not going to see much more from them, which is brilliant, which is exactly what we want. We don't want them to overtake the garden. And you can see some of the other bits that we've had in, and Shane's been here, he's been transporting plants. So this was down on the bottom here, but we've had to transport it because it's getting so big and doing so well, and Shane's been able to manipulate some of them and split some of them, so we've ended up with a lot more plants. But again, his knowledge has just been so invaluable in learning what we can split and what we can do. But moving on to down there, we'll show you what's gone on down there. So it's not just the garden that we've planted, obviously we've got lots of urns around now as well. Again, these have been beautiful all winter, they've had the beautiful red berries on, and just even in winter give the garden a little bit of colour. New geraniums, variegated, you'll see lots of variegated plants here, and I genuinely love the variegated. It just gives a different contrast to everything that we're doing, even in the pots here. Again, looking absolutely stunning, and these are just going to all trail over and just cover all around here, which is going to look absolutely out of this world. We have our beautiful pineapple lilies that we put in last year. They're all coming back, and we've learnt with snails this year, we are prepared for the snails, and a lot of the plants here, the snails are attracted to them. But as you see, as we go around, you'll see lots more new areas that have just been planted in and filled in, whether it be roses, whether it be different types of lilies, whether it's different euphorbias. We've just tried to fill it out again with as much as we can, so that when this garden is in bloom, these whole areas will just be full of beautiful smelling and looking flowers. Again, we're not done. We've got some miscanthus due. So what we're talking about when it comes to miscanthus is what we're going to put down on the bedding. Now, we used it last year. You can see it's a really fine chipping, rather than the big wood chippings that we use, and that can break down the soil, that can change the pH, that can eat the nutrients from the soil. So the reason we're going for miscanthus, it doesn't do any of that. Now, when it goes down, it's really bright, but we're going to be putting this everywhere in the garden. We've had to order a lorry's worth of it, because again, it is a massive amount that we need for a garden like this and that. But you can start to see everything coming up, whether it be the beautiful white salvia. Now, this struggled a little bit over winter, just with how cold it was, so it struggled to come back, but it's coming back, and as it grows and as it beds and gets its roots nice and deep in the ground, it'll do better year on year. To the stunning blue salvia as well. And again, just the smells, it's just lovely. Everything's set, you can smell everything going around the garden. And again, these roses, these are absolutely stunning. And again, it's not just how they look, it's how they smell. It's just to be here in this garden is unbelievable. I think that, is this another tree peony? So we'll have, again, hopefully flowers. People said it takes years for flowers, but we had our first couple of flowers on that this year. We've got our beautiful columbine over here. And again, just given that height and colour and a different texture. And this is just, it's beautiful. It's a stunning little plant, and again, I think it's just a speedwell, but it's come up lovely and it's doing lovely. And everywhere, I love the variegation of all the plants that we've got going in. It's just looking absolutely lovely. And again, there's more variegation there. And then coming over here, again, loads more plants have gone in here. Again, different heights and textures. This was always my favourite part of the garden, and I love it even more now just for how it's turning out. Again, this wisteria, the flowers have all gone now, but this was stunning. It was beautiful white flowers. You can just see the last few of them here, and again, just a different contrast in the garden. And this in time, we'll hopefully have it across all of this wall. We've got all the wires in for it to grow and to help it. So we'll train it along and just make sure that it looks lovely. The yews are doing unbelievably well. We're really happy with them. Lots of people said they're poisonous for dogs. Yes, the dogs don't eat them. They're not interested in them. We are aware of it, but they're not bothered. One of my all-time favourite plants is always euphorbia, and this variegated euphorbia is genuinely stunning with all its beautiful eyes and coloration and flowers. It's lovely. And just everywhere you go, everywhere I look, and there's a new plant that I didn't even realise had gone in. This was, yeah, it's unbelievable. And I can't remember the name of this one. We've just talked about it. It's Wigelia, that's the one. And this is Paisley's favourite area of the garden as well. If we're down here, she loves it. She comes jumping out of the plants at us. She thinks it's a big game, but we've got Wigelia dotted around everywhere as well. And this rose is going to burst into bloom in the next few days with all these absolutely stunning roses. And we've got our beautiful cardoon now. I think this genuinely is my favourite plant in the garden. I absolutely love it. I love the height, I love the texture, I love the flowers on it. And we were eating it the other night as well, and it was beautiful. Everyone loved it, which was such a surprise. And again, we were eating the stalks. So we were cutting from down here up to about, well, the whole thing. And then we were prepping it, cutting it up. I think we cooked it in lemon juice and like a wine vinegar. And it came out absolutely beautiful. It's got a texture of celery, but it doesn't taste like celery. And we know it doesn't taste like celery because Terry doesn't like celery, but he actually enjoyed this. Some more beautiful roses, and again, this was an unusual one that we found down at Banyul, and we tried to get 2 of them, but we could only get 1. It's all she had left, and it's a new hybrid. And again, that when it bushes out and fills this area, it'll give this area a bit more colour, because this is very, very simple, this area with colour, but the colours are going to be stunning as it grows and as it keeps going. But you can see the effect that the plants that we've tried to put on this end of the garden. This beautiful vervain, again, it's going to be up here this year. It struggled so much last year because it come out of a greenhouse and into a big garden like this, to this absolutely stunning cornflower. And it is a variation of cornflower, but again, it's just so different to the cornflowers. I know little plants like this, so to see one like this with the colour and the textures, to the alpine wallflowers, they are stunning, really, really are stunning, with a massive burst of colour. And again, there's salvias and sages and everything along this bed. Lamb's ear, which again is all going to create this beautiful barrier. It's going to look like a natural wall, but you'll see now the way that we've created different areas, and it's to lead you in and around the garden. It's to make you feel as though you want to walk up a channel, and that's what we've done here. So it leads you up and you want to just walk along it. And again, as this hedging fills out and as the lavender fills out, these are going to create their own little areas that you're going to be able to walk and actually feel. But inside of that, we've got some stunning, again, wonders, beautiful bulbs are all up, and they've given us that little bit of spring colour as well. But there's more to come from summer. And there's more plants being put in here, whether it be the beautiful trailing geraniums. I can see rosemary in there. I think the little artichoke or cardoon we have there, which again, it's absolutely stunning. So you'll want to walk these areas, but here as well. So we've got the roses one side, the lavender the other side, just creating these beautiful channels for you to be able to walk around and actually enjoy the garden. And even in spring, look at all the stunning, absolutely stunning, it's like wild garlic, and the ajuga covering the bottom as well, which are going to flower beautifully. They have been flowering in spring, and it's give us some beautiful colour, and that's what we want all year round in this garden where we can. We've tried to go with lots of evergreens so that even in winter it doesn't look like a bare place. And you can see these little stunning roses are just about to burst into colour as well, so it's just going to make this fabulous. When everything's in bloom, it's going to be unreal. We've put more plants in around all the little borders, so Shane's been moving. So as you'll see, with the lavender in places, what that's creating is the curves in the garden, just to give you the shape and to define the shape as well. And more where we've put the ilex or the box hedging, that's more of a straight line. It's not completely straight line, but it's give it more of just a defined shape, so you can see the different areas in the garden as well. But over on this side of the garden, so we've had to think about the planning here as well, because it's not as easy as just putting plants into each part of the garden. That end of the garden gets a lot more sun than this end of the garden. So the sun rises over here and it sets over here. So this side of the garden is really it's half a day it gets with the actual lighting. So that side can take a lot more light. So we've thought about that. Shane's thought about it when he's done this side, and he's given us plants that can tolerate lots of light, or they can tolerate a little bit less light. And again, it's not just the colours, it's the textures of the plants over here. This is my just a completely different favourite part of the garden for me. It's more about the different textures as well, not just the colours and the scents, from the beautiful geraniums that we've got to these magnificent hostas. And again, I just love the feel. I love the look of the leaves. I love the way the water just sits on the leaves and moves around in the leaves. It just looks lovely. To the variegated pittosporum, which again will be beautiful. We've seen some of these. They are unbelievable in size. We won't be letting them get unbelievably big. We'll probably trim them into a nice shape around here, but it'll just look stunning. And again, even in the backside of the garden to the beautiful columbine, so you've got a bit of height and texture to all these new beautiful plants that have gone in as well. And it just means that we're going to get to see these come to life. Now I know that this fern, I know Shane was very excited about this fern. This is an Acrinodes standism. And this again is absolutely beautiful. You just want to come up and you just want to touch the leaves because it's just magnificent. And again, this is going to all flower beautifully. And down this side, like I say, we've had to be a little bit different with taking into account the sunlight and what it could get. So we've got some beautiful hydrangeas, and look, we've got a hosta that's flowering. We have 2 beautiful buds, so next couple of weeks we'll start seeing these come to life and we'll see all these beautiful flowers. And we've got some clematis up here as well, which again can take lots of light or it can take a little light, so that'll do really well too. This one as well, this is a really strange one now. This, believe it or not, is a hydrangea. And again, a completely different hydrangea. I can't remember the exact name of it. I'll see if I can get it. So this is Hydrangea aspera and it's called Bellevue. And again, just the texture on the leaves, it's lovely. And again, we're hoping to see, we might see some flowers on this year. It went in quite late this year and it just looked like a couple of twigs, but Trade said, trust us, it's going to look good. And we trust him. So we're waiting to see how this comes now. And even this Pontic rhododendron, it's stunning. And again, I love variegation. So see the variegation in that, it's lovely along with the flowers. But it wasn't just a case of being able to put plants in here. Lots of you will remember the journey that we had in this garden now. I remember literally about here stood a giant tree at one point, and again we had to dig down and we had to dig it probably about 15 feet into the ground, flip the root, and it's going to have to decay under this, but it'll provide nutrients for this over the long term as well. And again, it's not just been a simple journey of being able to plant plants. If that was the case, this would have been done 2-3 years ago, but unbelievable. Digging paths out, digging roots out, digging brambles out, and even just to getting the borders into trying to get all this lined up, marked up. It was a family effort and it was like a team effort to get to this point. So we can't thank our families and our friends, Shane, Karen, everybody enough just getting us to this point, because like I said, it is such a pleasure to be walking around this garden now in bloom and to see it the way it is. Like I say, I can remember the very first time just making it from them stairs to here and finding the old sundial that we had, which we found right here. We didn't even know it was here. You couldn't even see it from there to here, and it took me days to work a path through to here. So it is genuinely a delight now to be able to see all this uncovered, but it means there's more to come as well, because we still have so much to do with the land and the grounds here. This is just the beginning. This is the first gardens that we've done. We're going to be looking at getting the front all sorted, which will tie into what we've done here. It's not going to be a match, it's not going to be exactly the same, but it'll give you the same sort of feeling when you arrive at the chateau of what to expect when you at least come round here, because right now you walk from there to here and it is like wow, and we want people to be wowed when they arrive at the chateau. And over the next couple of years we're going to be tackling the secret garden as well, and down into the forest, up to the lake, so that we can create some just magnificent spaces so that when people are here they can enjoy it, or it can be a destination for people to just come and enjoy the gardens. That would be amazing if people just came here just to look around the gardens and enjoy what we have here. It's not just been a case of planting plants. These 2 sets of stairs, so the stairs here and the stairs there, weren't visible, and it wasn't that they just weren't visible, they were in such bad condition. So I remember my cousin Adam came over, he gave me a hand with these ones to get these set in place, so we had to reset all the bottom ones there because they'd all slipped away. And Terry did a phenomenal job on this set of stairs. Now when we find this, I remember when we actually bought the chateau, when we went to actually pay the deposit, the lady owner, she said, have you found the nice stairs yet? And I was like, nice stairs? I was like, the ones in the chateau? And she said, no, the ones at the back of the garden. And these were the stairs that she was on about. And again, to see them still be here, which again, another couple of years with the trees grown out of them that we had, another couple of years, these would have gone, these would have fell. And there did used to be another set down there as well, because this was the front of the chateau. This is how you'd have entered the chateau. You'd have came up this way and walked through the magnificent gardens. So I'm guessing at some point as well, this space here has been a lovely garden. It would have had to have been for what it was. But again, that wasn't all that we did. And it's not just stairs that we had to restore and a garden we had to rebuild. We had to replace all of these capping stones. We had to take them all off. We had to cement them all back in place. They had trees growing out of them everywhere. Again, my first couple of weeks here was spent trying to clear this space, and I still remember very, very well standing on a wasp's nest that was in the ground there while I was chopping down a bunch of trees. Yeah, that was an experience, but it didn't put me off. Loved it, and again, learned from it. But the biggest thing that's changed in the garden really is that wall. Now, you'll all remember this area of the garden. When we first got here, this was tree after tree after tree. And these weren't little trees, these were massive trees. These were being self-seeded and they'd just been let rip. And we've seen photos from about 50, 60 years ago. And it had started to decay then. It had started to not be looked after properly. And that's when all of this has started. And that's kind of what caused the problems with the wall. Right here where we stood was a massive laurel, and the roots on that system, you would not believe, they literally stretch from there all the way up to there. And eventually what they've done is they've pushed that wall away. There's nothing on that side of the wall, and it is literally probably a 10-12 foot drop to that side from this level on that side of the wall. So it just pushed the wall away. So seeing that come back to life again with the help of you guys over the years, it's been unbelievable. But one thing I'm really excited about, I have to show you really quickly, because we have figs. Now again, this has only been in here for 2 years, but look how well they are doing. We have figs galore, so we're going to be making figgy chutneys. It's only one plant right now, and we've got another fig over the other side, but again, these can take the light. They absolutely love it, and they are doing so well off the back of it as well. So there is little bits and pieces in the garden that are edible. There's little things that we can do to eat, and we can just basically enjoy this garden for what it is. And that's what we want people to do, to come here and just enjoy the garden the same way we do, because we absolutely love it now, and it is only going to get better with time. It is still a really, really young garden. So we're still a long way to go. It looks done, it's not. We've still got lots to do, whether it be boxing of the pipework in the chateau to finishing the gravel, because this isn't the finished article. This isn't how it's going to look. This was literally just the first layer. And again, with the amount we've been in and out of it and everything, if we'd have put the good stuff down, it'd have been wrecked by now. So we know there's still lots to do here, but again, we've got something to ask you guys, because obviously we named this garden Jardin de Brindley just for Karen's influence and how amazing she's been. But we need something to recognise Shane's work, because this is all Shane. This has all come from Shane's head. Like what comes in the chateau comes from Terry's head. Shane has done exactly the same out here. So obviously we have this plinth. Do we do something here as an homage to Shane? Do we do a little sculpture? What do you guys think? Tell us what you think that we should do here, because we don't know. We have ideas, but we'd like to know what you guys think before we say anything. And we'd like to create something that just commemorates Shane here as well, because this is his garden, this is his baby. And you have to understand, this isn't Shane's normal type of garden. This is completely different to anything Shane ever does. Shane is he's a magician when it comes to gardens. Karen has one of the most beautiful gardens in North America, and that's down to Shane and Karen working together there. So he's created something completely different, and he's had to learn as well. It's been a case of he's had to learn about the different areas, the different plants, what it'll take. And again, that's why there's been so many visits back and forward, so that he can understand our climate and exactly what we've had to do here in the garden. So let us know what you think, and let us know in the comments. So hope you've enjoyed our little walk around and look back, because it is genuinely this transformation, as big and as good as the transformation is in the chateau, this is as good because of what it was as well and how bad it was. So if you've enjoyed today, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you got the bell click for notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
If you'd like to be part of our journey and help restore the chateau, then please join us on Patreon, where you'll be part of our journey, receive a piece of the history, and get exclusive videos.